Bandipora, the police has busted another Lashkar-e-Taiba overground worker module. At least 4 have been arrested, while security officials have separately also recovered massive stack of arms and ammunitions. 1 AK-47 rifle, 2 magazines, 1 Chinese hand grenade and other warlike stores and incriminating material has been gathered and recovered from this bust over the LET's overground worker module in Valley's Bandipora. Pakistan not backing down one moment despite being heckled by the Indus Water Treaty. One after the other, Rawat continues joining me on the broadcast. Rawat, one after the other, major terror strikes being busted by the security forces in the valley. In fact, today comes another one. Yesterday, there were at least 2 attempts that were foiled. Today, there is another one. Speak to us about it, Rawat.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we can say this is the big win for the forces, as we have seen after the deadly terror attack in the South Kashmir's Pahalgam. We have seen after that in the Uri sector, they tried to infiltrate to this side, but we have seen that the forces have foiled that operation. Also, then after we have seen then the exchange of fire took place in the South Kashmir's Pahalgam, and we have also seen in the parts of the North Kashmir like the Bandipora, we have seen that the cordon and search operation was launched by the Bandipora Police after getting the credible intelligence-based input. There is the presence and the movement of some terrorists in the area, and we have seen that the 4 individuals who belong to Lashkar-e-Taiba have been detained by the Jammu and Kashmir police, and also we have seen that the huge kit of arms and ammunition have been recovered from these 4 Lashkar-based OGWs in the Bandipora sector. It clearly indicates that the alertness of the forces in the Kashmir Valley. We can also say that this is the big win for the forces, as we have seen that an attempt was foiled by the joint security forces in the Bandipora, that we have seen the AK series, a short barrel rifle was also recovered during this ongoing operation. Yes.
Right, Rawat. Thanks very much for getting all those key details for us. In fact, we'll closely follow through what is happening in the valley. Viewers, in fact, while the country is still reeling under the sadness, the grief and the aftershocks of the terror strikes in Pahalgam, you know, the situation in Kashmir Valley is no different. In fact, people have been hit hard. Their livelihoods have been snatched from them over that major terrorist attack that unfolded in the valley day before yesterday. Multiple people, hoteliers, tourism sector involved people out on the streets of Kashmir protesting against one country, the treacherous neighbor that India has been dealing with, Pakistan. They came out protesting against Islamabad and calling for strong retaliation from the side of the Indian authorities, because this time the question is about their livelihood, the question is about the safety of their tourists who run the state's GDP in a major manner. Take a look.
People from across Kashmir poured into streets to express their anger and condemn the deadly attack which left 28 people dead on Tuesday. Locals, including political parties, staged a massive demonstration against Pakistan.
उनको लीगल वही कश्मीरियत जिंदा रखना चाहते हैं, हम वही कश्मीरियत जिंदा रखना चाहते हैं। जब भी यहाँ कभी टूरिस्ट दरबंदा होते हैं तो हम अपने दरवाजे खोलते हैं, मस्जिदों के दरवाजे खोलते हैं, घरों के दरवाजे खोलते हैं। हम टूरिस्ट के दुश्मन नहीं है, हम हिंदुस्तान के दुश्मन नहीं है, हम कश्मीरियत के साथ हैं, हम हिंदुस्तान के साथ हैं। हिंदुस्तान माना जाता था, कश्मीर माना जाता था मेहमान नवाजी के लिए।
Protesters raised anti-Pakistan slogans demanding justice for all victims and demanded retaliation. Several organizations, including political parties, civil society groups and trade and tourism associations, called for a bandh.
Act from Pakistan-based terror agencies which are running in Kashmir from last decades. They have destroyed the whole tourism industry. Again and again, they are killing the livelihood of people here, which is very high condemnable. These tourists, like they have killed them, they were here on a travel basis, some were here on marriage purposes, honeymoons, but this has ruined the whole image of Kashmir and Kashmirian.
In Riyasi, hundreds of people took out a march and burned tires as a mark of protest. A shutdown was also observed in Jammu and Kashmir's Udhampur, Katra, Kathua and Samba.
यहाँ पर आतंकवादियों ने एक ऐसा घिनौना गंदा काम किया कि उनको नाम पूछकर, उनकी वहां पर धर्म पूछ करके आप हिंदू हैं कि मुसलमान, हिंदू होने पर उनके ऊपर गोलियां बरसाई। लेकिन आज हमने कल ही यहाँ से हमने केंद्र सरकार से अपील की थी कि तुरंत वहां से अपने किसी कैबिनेट सहयोगी को भेजकर बिना देरी किए आतंकवाद को कुचलने के लिए यहाँ से तुरंत आदेश जारी करें।
Business communities in Pooch also held protests calling for a complete shutdown in response to the terror attack. The Sikh community carried out a peaceful candlelight protest against the attacks. Months before Pahalgam terror attack, Srinagar NC MP Rahula Mehdi said Kashmir tourism is cultural invasion. Listen in.
ये जो चल रहा है इस वक्त जिसे टूरिज्म कहते हैं, ये टूरिज्म नहीं है मेरी नज़र में ये कल्चरल इन्वेजन हो रहा है बाय पर्पस एंड बाय डिजाइन।
Meanwhile, security forces launched a massive anti-terror operation to hunt down terrorists responsible for bleeding the nation.